if you don't have a lot of finances at the start for your business, leverage on sponsorship and donations. Yes, because
And
if you
I
have
think
an idea that is going to impact like many people, if you have an idea that is going to impact many people, it's good that you should leverage on sponsors. Look for sponsors and partners, possible sponsors and partners that align with your mission and your vision. That are going to invest in it.
Yeah.
So for personal finances, what is mostly important like is to use the 50-30-20 principle.
50-30-20 principle.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a student of 14 years old. Just an example. I go to school every day. My transport is, let's say, 500 francs in that 1,000. So in that 1,000, I'm already using 500 francs for my basic needs, the essential needs that I need. Now I have like the 30 and the 20 left. So the 30, as you said, I have to invest. As a student, how can I be thinking about investing?
A financial expert is somebody that can actually master some financial terms and accounting terms like budgeting, saving, investment, various accounting principles and rules. And a chartered accountant is somebody that has specialized particularly in accounting and audit. Somebody that is mostly focused based on accounting and auditing, like the cost checking the financial documents of a business. So that's it. Now my own job is that maybe at the end of the day, I'm going to analyze like all the revenue and the income, and I'm going to track maybe your profit or your loss for the day. Now at the end of the month, I will be the one, like if I'm the accountant, I'll be the one to manage the payroll to your workers. We talk about payroll, it means the salary management and everything. Normally when you want to start a business, 10% of your income must go to your emergency funds, like 10% of the income, 10% of your startup capital, and
what's
go to your emergency fund. Like emergency fund is an amount of money that you set aside, like to plan for unforeseen circumstances. We never know.
I want you to advise firstly the girls that are just from finishing their A level or their high school and are about to go to the university, but yet they're like unsure of what to do. Advise them on a path that they can take to find first of all their passion in life, then follow it. Let's go back to when you were 6 years old. Yeah, and now seeing yourself at 6 years old, which advice would you have given to yourself?
Actually,
Hello, thanks for tuning in again into this video. It means the world to my team and I, and we are so glad to see that you showed up for this video and you are going to get inspired. We just have one request for you. Please subscribe. By subscribing, you help I and my team be able to produce these amazing and inspirational videos for you every week. We will bring the best guests on our podcast to inspire you and motivate you towards your journey of success. So all what we want from you is to subscribe. Thanks.
Hello, Bernice.
hello.
Yeah, thank you for accepting to be here on our podcast. It's actually something of really amazing having like a financial expert here on our podcast to inspire countless of Africans on how to manage their money, how to build even financial businesses and manage their money effectively. So I want to thank you for being here. Yeah.
Okay.
So without further ado, I'll just jump directly to the questions. So I know you're a financial expert and you have like been touching money, dealing with money, how to manage money in companies, all of that. So I want to ask you, firstly, if I was to ask someone close to you, let's say even in your family, and asking them like, who is Bernice? What would they say?
Actually, I might not know what they will say, but from my own point of view, I can say that Bernice is a girl that likes finances. Bernice is a girl that is aspiring to be a chartered accountant. Bernice is a girl that is detail-oriented, that loves details, and that is a strategic thinker. So that's the Bernice I see.
You love details, you love, a strategic thinker. That's something nice. And if our audience even were to ask you one question like, why should they listen to you today? What will you tell them?
So actually, I'm not forcing anybody to listen to me first, but if you listen to me, you are going to gain very valuable insights on finance and everything. Because many people fail to take into consideration the finance part. They are more of science and art, but they forget that business do exist.
Exactly. So I would like to also know like what motivated you to go into this journey of finances?
Like what motivated me actually is a very long story, but I'll try to cut it short. Like it was even in Form 3, I can say it was in Form 3. We had that accounting teacher that like he was passionate about the accounting stuff. He always had every the solutions to all the questions. I was like, how is this man doing? I need to be like him. So he's the one that like pushed me into that business world, because I'm doing business and accounting since from three, like ever since I started.
I think that was falling under economics.
No, accounting as a whole.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, say as students like me, we didn't do those subjects.
Yeah, I started doing commercial from three. So basically, I'm based on that.
And that's where I developed the love for finances, commercial stuff,
everything.
all of that.
And I saw that it's even aligning with my character and my personal behavior, because finances and accounting people are detail oriented, strategic thinker. They're not that extroverted. They're more of introvert, because they deal with numbers and everything.
You say it aligns more with your character. So, like, what's that character of finances?
Actually, that character is that person that does not like to overtalk, that person that is a little bit introverted, that person that likes sitting on her machine and doing her stuff, that person that don't much like to be sociable with others. So it's a very good one.
I can kind of guess why. I think those that usually count money, they don't count in public. They count in like in secret.
Yeah.
Okay, I get. Anyway, let me just move to the next question, which says, how did you discover, first of all, this is your passion? You have kind of answered it in this field of finances. How was the journey? What sparked you even into, once you got that, you're saying commercial course, what got your interest into it?
Like, in my head, since I've started this commercial stuff and this accounting, I had one goal, and the goal is to be a chartered accountant.
To be
a chartered accountant. Like, a chartered accountant is an accounting expert. He's involved in consulting and auditing. So all what he does for a business is that he's the one that is like overseeing all the financial documents and everything. So so far as chartered accounting is concerned, that is my big goal. Like, that's what is really motivating me. Like, that is the thing that I want to attain. That's what's actually motivating me.
I think we're even going deeper without even understanding the term, what a financial expert is, what a chartered accountant is. Can you like define all these terms so that even I can understand better, the audience can also understand better?
Yeah, for me, a financial expert is somebody that can actually master some financial terms and accounting terms, like budgeting, saving, investment, various accounting principles and rules, because business also have its own rules and its principles. So that is somebody that is a financial expert. And a chartered accountant is somebody that has specialized particularly in accounting and audit. Somebody that is mostly focused based on accounting and auditing, like to be cross-checking the financial documents of a business. So that's basically all what a chartered accountant does. It's mostly of service oriented.
In the beginning, you kind of said that many businesses need these skills, but they don't know that they actually need it. So I want to ask you, like, what is the role of a financial expert, a chartered, what's the name again?
Chartered accountant.
Chartered accountant. Yeah. What's their role in a business?
Like, the role of a financial expert in a business, you know that every business, to start up a business, first of all, you need money. But now, if they give you the money, you'll be able to manage it. We even know where to start. We even know how to study your environment. We even know the type of business that you need to set up. Because before starting a business, you need to like scan your environment, do environmental scanning, gather environmental factors in order to understand what type of business can I set up. Is it a agricultural business? Is it like a school business? What type of business? And you need the services of a financial expert for you to be able to draft it, for you to draft your business plan, your business model, in order to highlight all your revenue sources, your possible revenue sources from the business you're planning, all the expenses you might incur and everything, the budgeting, everything, drafting your financial statements, and maybe asking for sponsorship. It is that you don't have the sufficient money. So all of that falls within our category.
So everything that deals with money in a business falls under the category of a financial expert and chartered accountant.
For chartered accountant, he's not like, it's not a broad something. He's specialized particularly in accounting. In the accounting of a business. Because we talk about the accounting of a business, we're mostly talking about financial statements. I think you don't really know what's a financial statement. So we're talking about financial statements. We mean like the statements that show the expenses and revenue of a business, the statement that shows the assets and the liabilities, basically what the business owns and what the business owes. The statement that shows the cash flow, that is the cash in and the cash out, and there are various other statements. So the chartered accountant job is to analyze those statements and to give feedbacks on decision making for the enterprise.
And let's say growing businesses like startups, at an early age of, let's say, 2 to 3 years, do they already need, or at which stage even of a business do, let's say, startups, businesses need financial experts and chartered
Like
accountants
at the very early
at
stage.
very early stage?
Yes, because failing to plan is planning to fail.
That's
And
true. That's true.
oh, like when you start a business, if at the beginning you misuse your capital, because at the beginning maybe you have set up an amount of money that will be used as your capital. If you
Yeah.
misuse it, then your business is failing. So for me, every business at the start needs already somebody that is financially literate to be able to manage the money that I've put at hand as startup capital. Yeah, at the very early stage.
I see that's like something of cool. And I want you to give us like a scenario in a business where a financial management and a chartered accountants fall in.
Like a scenario.
Yeah, like let's say an example, a let's say a business, let's just take a biscuit business. So I'm actually the founder of the biscuit business where I sell biscuits to shops. I say en gros, as I say in French, to shops. They buy it, then sell small, small. So as a financial expert, what will be your role in my company of biscuit?
Like in your company of biscuit, normally everything has been digitalized. So maybe I'll be the one sitting, because there's usually the person that's at the case, the cashier. Normally she's the one that will be taking your entries and your exits. Now my own job is that maybe at the end of the day, I'm going to analyze like all the revenue and the income, and I'm going to draft maybe your profit or your loss for the day. Now at the end of the month, I will be the one, like if I'm the accountant, I'll be the one to manage the payroll of your workers. When we talk about payroll, it means the salary management and everything. And now my view might organize a meeting for us to discuss about the strategies, financial strategies that will be best advisable for us for the next month. Maybe if we have encountered a profit and the profit is higher than that of last month, we'll analyze and see what did we do that made our profit to increase, and what can we do to increase the profit. If we made a loss, how can we manage the loss and make a profit the next month? Basically, that's what I think.
Wow. I think that's something of a extraordinary. Having financial expert that can like see in this year you did the profit of this amount, and then the next year like you reduce. You kind of like look what's the difference, or what didn't you do well this year that made you maybe drop in profit. I think it's something of really cool having financial expert in businesses. And let's go back to the startups. Startups that are just starting rarely have money, and if they don't have money and are starting like their business, I can say they have a little amount of income that they can use to maybe run 1 or 2 operations. But now money to put or bring a financial expert into the team, they don't really have. So them starting without a financial expert, what would be like their rate of success without a financial expert? Let's say for 2 to 3 years, if I've tried from the beginning up to the third year, they don't have a financial expert.
Like if they don't have a financial expert, it's going to be like very difficult, because firstly at the start there's a mistake that they did. If you don't have a lot of finances at the start for your business, leverage on sponsorship and donations. Yes, because
And
if
I
you have
think
an idea that is going to impact like many people, if you have an idea that's going to impact many people, it's good that you should leverage on sponsors. Look for sponsors and partners, possible sponsors and partners that align with your mission or your vision, that are going to invest in it. But the people that are raised just because if they see any idea, any innovative idea that is in line with your belief, that is in line with what they are looking for, they will sponsor it. That's the first thing.
Yeah. And I think it's the financial expert that can be proposing the sponsorship opportunities.
Yeah, actually, if you don't have that idea, many people don't have the idea that somebody can actually sponsor what they're doing, that they are actually doing amazing stuff, but nobody is sponsoring them, and they usually lack resources. So they don't know, and they don't even know what type of people can sponsor them.
Okay. I hope our audience are listening, because there are a lot of startups here in Africa, even out of Africa, that just start without any financial expert. I think I myself, I fall in between one of them. Like I've started many startups without any financial expert or chartered accountant, where I'm just reading the startup, don't even really know how I'm managing my money and all of that. I think from what you have just explained, it's something of really essential having a financial expert in the business. Showing you, first of all, how can you get these sponsors, which type of sponsors can you get for your business, and more importantly, how you can manage your money so that you can get profits in the future. Okay. I know you're a financial expert, and being a financial expert, you have actually done some stuff. You have actually had some accomplishments. So I want you to like tell us what you do in a regular basis.
Like every day.
Mm, let's say maybe in a month. Like, what's the main stuff on that finances that you do?
Actually, I've not done some I've not done some very large stuff to the international, but what
Yeah.
I do basically is that I usually post like weekly posts on LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
about financial literacy and
Mm-hmm.
for businesses and for personal finances. I usually
Yeah.
do presentations in financial literacy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also, even in the house, I usually educate my junior sister because I
Wow.
believe that little things matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you start from a small step, then you
Yeah.
are going to reach higher heights.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe.
Okay, okay.
And I also try every day like to educate myself too on
Mm-hmm.
financial literacy and everything because you cannot be teaching people what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the deal. And
Okay.
also for the TIC summit, yeah,
Yeah, I actually like what you just said. I even touched one aspect that I think many of our audience will be interested in. Like you said, little things matter. And then you said you also educate your siblings in the house on how to like manage their money and finances. So I want to ask you like, what do you actually teach them? Because many of our audience are here that are like, I have money, I don't know what to do with money, I have this, I have that, better buy my bread and chocolate I eat. Which kind of advice can I give to them?
like my advices are mostly focused on personal finance because personal finance and business finance are two different things. I cannot be advising a startup and advising you as an individual in the same way.
Yeah,
But
very true.
it is a startup, it's business, but you is about personal, something personal like your
Yeah,
life.
okay.
So for personal finances, what is mostly important like is to use the 50-30-20 principle.
50, 30, 20 principle.
Yeah,
Okay.
50-30-20 principle.
So what does the principle say?
So for the principle, it's talking about your income. Like 50% of your income should go to what you need. Because as human beings, we have needs, we have wants, and we have those that are not essential, like those that we can do without, we can even live without them. So those 50% should go with the essentials, like what you cannot do without. Maybe you are a student, they give you 1,000 pounds every day. You know that you have transport money. Transport is already essential because you cannot go to school without transport. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So that 50% falls within what you need, like
What you need.
essential.
Okay.
Now the 30% you should invest the 30%. The 30% is meant for investment. Investment are things that will give you and will generate you profit in the nearest future. And the 20% goes to your savings. Like you must always save. Even if it's a 50 franc, you have to save
You have to
every day. Every day you need to save something. There's no small amount of money to save. Even if it's 50, it's going to help you one day.
Wow, wow, wow. That's something nice. Let me try to like see if I understand what you said. So you have given the 50, 20, 30, 20 rule. Principle, okay. Where the 50% of your money goes to the most essential thing that you have to do.
Yeah.
The 30%, you said 30% goes to what?
Investment.
30% goes to investment and 20% goes to your savings.
Yeah.
So now I want to ask you, using the example that I took, like I am a student of 14 years old, just an example. I go to school every day. My transport is, let's say, 500 francs in that 1,000. So in that 1,000, I'm already using the 500 francs for my basic needs, the essential needs that I need. Now I have like the 30 and the 20 left. So the 30, as you said, I have to invest. As a student, how can I be thinking about investment?
Like the greatest investment that somebody can do is actually self-investment.
Self-investment.
Yeah, self-investment. That 30%, instead of putting data, let me say you put internet and you be watching TikTok and everything, you can invest that, let's say 300 francs, that your 30% of your income.
Yes.
You put data and you watch like courses, tutorials that are going to like enrich what you already have. That's self-investment. And it's going to help you. You never know which type of skill you might learn. You might be learning a skill on YouTube, you might be watching a YouTube tutorial, you don't know that tomorrow that's what you are going to be feeding on.
Wow,
You never know. And the
What did
20%
you
you keep it because there are rainy days. Maybe there's a day that your father will tell you that I have money to give you.
very true.
You'll be
Very
like,
true.
what
And
will
then
I
you're
do?
saving that can even
And if
save
you
you.
keep that 200 francs or let's say 100 francs every day, you'll have something to go to school. You just say that leave it, I will manage the situation. I will be like, wow, my son has grown up.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
wow. That's actually something nice. Huh? I've never even thought about it in that way. And I hope the students are listening because it's something really essential. As you said, the most, I don't really know the exact word I use, but the best investment to do is to invest in yourself. And instead of putting like that 300 to be watching TikTok videos, put the 300 and kind of develop yourself. Yeah.
And
So
learn new skills.
exactly, learn new skills. It's something really important to do. And now let's go to the aspect of businesses. So you gave like two type of financial advices. You said there's for the individuals and there's for the businesses. So going in the perspective of the businesses, which type of advice will you give them?
Like for the businesses, it's more complicated and it's more of advanced financial. It's more of a financial acumen, more
Okay.
advanced, because for
Yeah.
an individual, we give it at the basic level for everybody to understand. But for
Yes.
businesses, there are complex things to be done.
Mhm.
Like there are a lot of documents to be established at the
Yeah.
start of a business, like the balance sheet. If you are a new business, you need to analyze what are we having actually and what are we owing. Because most businesses, they start with debts. There's no business that's supposed to without a debt.
Yeah,
Like, even
very
some people
true.
that borrow money to start their business before they pay it back. So you need to analyze all of that. You need to take all those things into consideration before you start your business.
Okay. And for those also starting startups like me that don't, it's in fact their first time hearing about financial literacy, can you kind of abbreviate all these steps, documents that they need to start?
Like, I should give a list. The documents are actually
That a lot.
not that much, but each document leads to the next one.
The
Like,
next one.
there's the expense and revenue sheet. That one is basically expenses and revenue. Like, you list based on the type of business that you are. You develop like a track sheet. You can be
Yes.
using Google Sheet or you can use another app, because there are various accounting apps. But if you don't have the finances to be paying for them like monthly, you can use Google Sheet. Like, you set up a sheet for all your expenses and revenue, for your monthly expenses and revenue. You can do research on it based on the type of business that you list out all the possible expenses and revenue that you might have for all the months, and you just document them. Like, every month, each time you do an expense, each time you do a revenue,
Document.
document it.
Okay.
That expense and revenue should now lead to what we call an income statement. Like, an income statement will highlight all your expenses, all your revenue, and your profit. Because when you take your revenue less your expenses, you get your profit at the end. So what profit have you made from what you've spent and from what you've received? What is your profit? From that profit, now you can have your cash flow statement. Cash flow statement shows your cash in and your cash out. Basically, all the money that you've been spending and all the money that you've been receiving. And lastly, we have the balance sheet. Like, the balance sheet is showing all your assets and your liabilities. What am I owning? What am I owing?
Yeah.
Am I owning this chair? Is this chair mine? Is this table mine? That is what we call assets. Now, liabilities are basically your debts, what you owe to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Just what you explained, I'm getting like understanding of what financial expert can really do for a company. And I'll know our viewers will like want to know more. And I'll just tell them like to go on LinkedIn right now, type, or after even this video will be better, type Maffo Bernice, and then they're going to get all the stuff that I've been posting about financial literacy and all of that, so that they can learn more and be able to even structure their businesses in a way that they can know what's their asset, what's their liabilities, how to generate income from what you share on an LinkedIn post. So after this research about her, and I have here actually a simulation that I would like us to like kind of do. So I'll just read it out. So here's the simulation. Let's imagine a scenario. Someone wins 5 million in a lottery. Instead of planning, the person spends on a house, a car, parties, and short-term pleasures. Will you say this is a sign of poor financial education? If yes, why? If no, why?
Actually, it's a very poor sign of financial education. Like, I can see in that person spending all the 5 million, somebody that's not financially rich, somebody that needs advice, somebody that in fact has just wasted a huge sum of money that could generate lots more of money. Yeah, because if I was given that 5 million, firstly, as a business person, normally when you want to start a business, 10% of your income must go to your emergency funds, like 10% of the income. 10% of your startup capital, I mean,
what's
go to your
emergency fund?
emergency fund. Like, emergency fund is an amount of money that you set aside, like to plan for unforeseen circumstances.
Okay,
We never know what might happen. Imagine that you waste all the 5 million and suddenly something pops up, and that just requires you maybe 100,000. You don't have it. So you like keep 50%. If I have the 5 million, I will keep like 10%. I mean, 500,000. I'll keep it aside, and I'll use the rest. Like, I'll use, let me say, 3 million for the business. After analyzing my market and looking for the best profitable type of business that I can set up based on the environment, it depends where you want to set up your business. You cannot say that you want to set up a fashion wear and everything, like selling expensive dresses in a quarter that is a bit like a basic quarter. Yeah, you must study your environment where you want to set up your business before you invest actually in the business that you're planning for.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the rest of the money you can take it for your own self, like for your personal needs, because as the owner you also have needs.
Yes.
Maybe you have a house to pay, maybe you have something like, yeah, take it like that. And 20% normally you save it. You
Exactly.
save
So
the
in
money.
total, they should apply like the 50, 30, 20 rule.
Yeah, that
exactly.
rule also applies like
Yes.
all the time.
Than spending the money buying cars, buying houses. First
That one
apply
is just short-term pleasure.
Exactly. And the next question follows that if you were advising this person, how should they have managed their money differently to secure a long-term wealth? So this person have just won 5 million, spent it all around. If you were to advise them after that just won this 5 million, what should they do with that 5 million?
If I was to advise them, I'll say in one word, 50-30 principle.
50, 30,
30-20 principle.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see that kind of applies almost for everything. And just the way he explains it is something of that I think many individuals, whether you're a business owner or not, you should apply that principle.
Yeah, I should apply it in your life.
Because it will help you also manage your money effectively. 50% goes to your most important needs, 30 to your investments, and 20 to your savings. Okay. That's kind of nice. Then many people also looking at us right now that are like, wow, this girl, she has just talked for some few minutes and I'm already inspired. Wow, how did she like learn all this? How did she get all this your knowledge? So I want to like know, how did you study all of this? And where can they to study what you know? For those that are aspiring to become financial experts like you.
Actually, the school played a role, but me myself, I tried to like discover other things out of school, because in school they'll not always give you everything you need. They'll give you the essential, but you're the one that's supposed to go further. So I usually watch YouTube videos, I watch tutorials, I take courses like online to develop my skills and to learn about new things. I just sit one day, I tap on Google most essential skills for an accountant. I type basic things and they just give me links. I just read everything. I also read books like to enrich my vocabulary and
like which books?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay. When you were talking about assets, liabilities, I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also this thing, income statement, all of that. And let's say you should speak to the girls watching this right now, because you know there are girls. In fact, just look at you. You are doing something very unique. It's rare to find some girls that will be like, I want to become a financial expert. Hey, what's your word again?
Chartered accountant.
Chartered accountant. It's rare to find girls trying to do that, because most time you see, I want to become a doctor, I want to become this, I want to become that. But in that field, you'll hardly find them. So I want you to advise, firstly, the girls that are just from finishing their A level or their high school and are about to go to the university, but yet they're like unsure of what to do. Advise them on a path that they can take to find, first of all, their passion in life, then follow it.
Firstly, if you are just from having an advanced level, me basically, personally, when I just had my advanced level, I already knew what I wanted to do. So it's not actually the case for everybody. So what I advise them is that they should try to discover what they like. What do you like doing? Try to align your passion with your education. That's what I advise them. Try to align your passion with your education. If you like maybe flowers, be a botanist, I don't know. There's no small job.
Exactly.
Just look at what you like. Let it align with the education that you want to follow.
Okay. Look at what you like and let it align with the education that you want to follow. So, Bernice, let's go back to when you were 6 years old. Yeah, and now seeing yourself at 6 years old, which advice would you have given to yourself?
Actually, at 6 years old, I'm not sure I was having the same mindset like now. It's obvious, but I would just say to myself that continue doing what you're doing.
Okay, continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah, because what you are doing has actually led to a good girl.
Okay, that's something actually nice. Continue doing what you are doing, the 6-year-old Bernice, because what you are doing have led to a good girl. And now we'll come to our final questions. Question which says, if you were to advise, or let's say, it's actually a question that I asked everybody that is here on the podcast, asking them like, what's their own vision? You, Bernice, the upcoming financial expert, chartered accountant. That was kind of hard. Chartered accountant.
Chartered.
Yeah, chartered accountant. You being the future chartered accountant. What's like your future view of Africa? What do you see Africa like in 5 years to come? How will Africa be?
Actually, for that question, I don't really have an answer because there are many factors to take into consideration.
Yeah,
like
very true.
I don't really know. Like seeing Africa in which aspect.
But look at the way things are going, coming of AI. We Africans are also trying to adapt the AI to do our one or two things. How
So
will
what I
the world
would
be?
say is that in the future, if you don't know how to use AI, you actually be jobless. That was
Yeah,
like,
jobless.
especially in our domain, the finance domain, because
Yeah.
AI can do the predicting, AI can do the calculation. So basically, an enterprise will be like, why should I employ if AI can do everything? You see that actually,
Okay, yeah.
you need to know how to use the
It
AI
means that we should
and to
try.
develop soft skills, because AI cannot have soft skills, but you as a human, you can develop the soft skills.
Okay. That means we should try to like use AI in our fields.
Yeah.
Because it can facilitate our works.
Yes.
As you say, most of the analysis that people do, AI
There are
can do.
AI apps that do that.
That
so
do that.
you must
Wow.
not.
Okay, I see. That's actually nice. And Bernice, I want to tell you thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for showing up today to inspire countless of Africans right now. Talking to them about this, how to manage firstly their own finance. These startup owners, how to get like, how can I say, how to also start, how to first of all know what they need at the early beginning to grow their startup and scale it up. Here in Africa, we didn't know that we needed a financial expert at the early age. From what you have just shared, I myself am seeing that it's something of important. And I think that I need also a financial expert maybe in my startup so that I can excel it into what I want. And yeah, I want to tell you thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we're going to invite you for another podcast. Because I feel like there's a lot of stuff to be explored in the financial domain. Yeah, so thanks once more.
You're welcome.
Yeah.